All right, now we're doing 7Q Kooka-Counter. 7Q Kooka-Counter. This is by Dingle Mouse, and 92% of the people like it. So we're going to be counting kookaburras, and the trick to counting kookaburras is to listen carefully. Males sound like ha ha ha, while females sound like ha ha ha. You know, anyway. And they always alternate male to female. So one ha, any ha's is going to be one, and ha's are going to be one. So capital and lowercase, whatever. So right here, this is a male and a female because there's one capital, one lowercase. This one's a female and a male because there's one lowercase, one capital. This is one female because it never switches to a capital. This is a female and a male because it, what is this? It goes like this, female, and then male right here, and then male, female, male. All right, so now that we got that going on, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by splitting this thing up, whichever thing we get up, by the A's, okay? I want only H's left. We want only the H's left in an array. So to do that, we're going to use this split method, which takes a pattern and divides a string into an ordered list of substrings by searching for the pattern, putting the substrings into an array, and returning the array. So the pattern we're going to use, instead of like a space or an empty string or nothing, is we're going to have the A's, we're going to put it by A's. So let's do that right here. We're going to say let array equal laughing dot split, and we're going to split it by the A's. All right, let's do a console.log to see what it looks like. Console.log array. All right, test it out, and that's bad. All right, let's get rid of this stuff and test it out. And there we go. Now we've got capital H's, lowercase h's, and then capital H's, right? So now we want to do a count. So we're going to say let result equal 0, all right? Because we're going to be pushing, we're going to be adding 1 for each time these things switch. How are we going to do that? With a for loop. We're going to say for let I equal 1, because we're going to be checking this one and then the one behind it. Or we could check this one and the one in front of it and stop at this one, or this one I should say. But I'm going to start with this one here and check the one behind it. So we're going to do that, and we're going to say while I is less than array.length, and say I plus plus. All right, now we got that going on. We're going to say if, and we're going to say if array at I does not equal array at I minus 1, all right? So if these two are different, we're going to say, like these two right here, like it gets to this one and then checks this one and they're different. We're going to say result plus plus, and then we're going to come down here and return result. Test it out. Looks great. Attempt it. All right, no tricks involved. Cool. But as cool as this is, there's a cooler way to do this, all right? We can get rid of this var. We can say const. We can keep a var, whatever, but we're not going to. We're going to say equals. We're going to say Kooka-Counter equals laughing, and the rest of this we're going to turn into an arrow, just like that. We're going to say, let's get this out of the way. We're going to say console.log, so we can test while we go, and we're going to say laughing, just to start off with. So let's just see what happens when we do this. All right, so now it does this. So for this, we're going to be using the match method right here, which is a thing that we got to use regex with. But the match method retrieves the result of matching a string against a regular expression. All right. So basically, we're just going to have something dot match and then the regex in there. So we're going to do that laughing dot match. And then for the regex, let's just put the two things right there. For the regex we're going to have in here, we're going to have to do a couple things. First, we need to know about groups and back references. And so we're going to put a capturing group. We're going to put the capital HA in one capture group and the lowercase HA in another one. I'll show you why in just a second. So let's do the capture groups. HA like this, and then let's throw another one, lowercase HA like that. So we got two capture groups right here. Pardon me. Now we're going to make it to where it searches for either this one or this one. So we're going to use the character class over here. We're going to come all the way down here and look at this disjunction. It matches either the X or the Y. So this would be the capital H and this Y would be the lowercase h. And so we separate it by a pipe. I didn't know it was called a pipe, but now I know it's called a pipe. So we're going to separate it by a pipe like this, not like that, like this, just like that. And let's just test it out to see what it looks like right now. All right, looks like some jibber jabber, but we're getting somewhere. We're getting there. So as ugly as that is, and I can't think of any ways to segue into this, we're going to have to use this quantifier over here. And we're going to use this plus sign quantifier, which matches the preceding item X one or more times. And the equivalent is, well, whatever. So after each one of these capture groups, we're going to say plus and plus. That way it'll match 1, 2, 3, and then it'll match these ones, and then it'll match these ones. Now let's test it out. See what this looks like. Still looks like some gobbledygook. Yeah. Let's say dot length right now. Dot length. Just to see what it looks like. 3. That looks good. Let's see if that works. Test it out. Looks good. Attempt it. I didn't think so because of null. So we got to do something about this null thing right here. Also, this is no good here. And we'll discuss that in a second. But first, let's deal with this null thing. So like whenever it's an empty string. So right here, let's wrap this thing up in parentheses. And let's say after the match, we're going to say or with the two pipes. Use that word already. Or empty string. So if it comes into 0 or an empty string, we'll put an empty array there, I should say. Now let's test it out. Now we're good again. Let's attempt it. Cross your fingers. No, something's bad. And you know what's bad? We didn't use the flag. So we're going to come over here in the regular expressions page. We're going to come all the way down here. And we got to use this global search flag to search for it more than one time. Because it'll just stop after finding it one here and one here, or something like that. So let's just put the little G right after this. Test it out. Looks good again. Let's attempt it. All right, and there we go. Now let's submit it. All right, hopefully you learned a little bit about regex on this if you didn't know about it. And then the other way is valid too. And here's the one we just did. They did it in regular syntax. Here's one right here. It's good, but it assumes that the first two ha's have the same case, right? So I don't really, but you know, with this one it does have the same case, but just in case, you know, hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, you can go check out all the rest of them. Let's go over to mine. No solutions. I guess it's because I did two different solutions. Very much like it, and we'll see you next time.